Destin here, talking about Xbox buying Activision was pointless.
This video might come off a little bit entitled. And the reason I say that is because I do not really understand what the point of Xbox buying Activision was if they're not going to go hard and actually do some interesting things with the merger.
I see what he's saying off the bat, right? Because it's been, what, a year and a half since they got him? They got him at the end of 2023. It was one full year of 2024, and now we're in 2025. So we're in about a year and a half. Not much is coming out, right? We've been wanting Ultimate Alliance, the old ones, re-released by them. We want the Transformers game re-released to them, put them on Game Pass type of stuff, and they haven't done any of those yet.
When it happened, I was excited about the potential savings I could be seeing by having access to all the new Activision games on Xbox Game Pass, or just see how Microsoft would shake things up, and the potential for old games to make their way onto the service. That was cool.
I think that's still going to happen. I don't think they've... Lots of licensing problems, right? It's not the problem. Let me rewind here a little bit. Say that's a weird look. It's not the problem that they can't put them on. Right? The problem is because it's Marvel, because it's Hasbro, because it's Transformers, for those three games that I want to come back, is they have to get the licensing for that. And that goes through a whole slew of things, right? It's not just like, hey, we like to put the game on the thing. Now they got to go through like legal jargon shit, right? A bunch of lawyers have to get involved. And then they go, yeah, we're going to put it in. And I think they are going to put them on because we had the leak that they're back on the store, which they weren't on the store for a while. So it looks like they've done something because they are going to put those on the store.
Things up, and the potential for old games to make their way onto the service. That was cool. Or see some kind of revitalization of interest in Xbox services. That was intriguing. But now that we're headed into year 2 since closure, I got to ask Microsoft directly, what exactly was the point of buying this company if you're not going to do jack squat with it?
Well, hold on a second. It's a good opening there, okay? Why buy it for the money that they bought it for $60 billion or $70 billion if they're not going to do diddly squat with it? They are doing stuff with it. They bought it for $70 billion, and now they're making the money off of Call of Duty. They're making the money off of Diablo. They're making the money off of all the other things that they got from it, right? Immortals, right? All the money that's coming in is now going to them, Microsoft. It's not going to a third-party publisher anymore. So yes, they spent $60 billion, and they want to make that money back as fast as possible. But again, the wheel has to turn. World of Warcraft, I'm telling you, is coming to Xbox. It's for Game Pass or whatnot. It's going to come at some point. They just got to make sure all their ducks are in a row.
To be fair, today Xbox gamers on any platform have seen little to no benefit from this merger, except for the fact that Diablo 4 came to Game Pass, as well as one bad Call of Duty and one really good Call of Duty. We got Spyro.
Hold on a second. He just named, 3 games? I'll let him finish.
We got Crash. Recently, StarCraft 1 and 2 also made their way onto the service, but there's little to no promotion or fan.
Hold on a second. Okay. They've had them for 1 year. 1.5 years. Okay. They've put new games on. They've put old games on. They've had updates. They've done stuff with it. Is it not up to par for him? Is that what he's saying? Because they've done it. It's like one company, and they've put out 6 to 7 video games, new and old.
And fair. And yeah, they announced the Tony Hawk game, but let's be honest, that was probably already in the works. It's good, but the potential has been completely wasted by Xbox, in my opinion. There is so much more they could be doing.
Absolutely. I agree with that. There is 100% more they could be doing. But at the same time, you can't put it all... I've said this before they even bought it. I said, don't expect all the Activision games to come out one lump sum as soon as they buy the company, right? You have to slowly bring out your games over time because you want to make the value of the proposition good, right? He even talked about maybe having an Activision tier where all the Activision games were only on the Ultimate Edition, okay? Since that time, which was 2+ years ago when we talked about stuff like that, they've now raised the price to Ultimate where it's $20. day and date only on the $20 model. Okay. I said that World of Warcraft would either have its own like tier with like MMOs, or it would be up on the $20 model by itself. Okay. So they can't just throw out everything all at once. They have to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe this summer, again, I don't know. Maybe this summer, all of a sudden they announce that, oh, the Transformers games are coming back. That's 3 Transformers games. Fall, War, and Devastation. Then you also have Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. That's 4 games, 5 games. So let's say they announce it in July that Activision's coming out with more games. And then in August, they drop Fall of Cybertron. Then in September, and then October, and then November, then December, right? That would take you to the end of the year. And that's just with those 5 games, let alone their whole other back catalog that they have. There's no way that they would just be like, oh, here you go. Here's 25 games from the old Activision games. That's not how business works. They want to slowly drip feed the stuff in there, just like microtransactions, just like live service games.
What's with the piecemeal service? Are you really making so much bank on Prototype 1 and 2, which
No.
I still have my original
They're
disc
not.
copy of, and the original?
Make the problem, though, and sell the solution. If you want to play that game, if you have your hard copy, you got to play it on your old system, because a lot of those games are not even, take it from me, I know, I put them in the machine all the time, and you can't play them, right? You can put them in your old machine and play them, but they're not backwards compatible with the new system, okay? So you either have to buy it again, make the problem, sell the solution. The problem is I can't put this disc in the new console because it doesn't read it, okay? Or it's not, it's delisted or whatever. But the solution is, but we have that game on the Microsoft Store, and you could purchase it there for, guess what? Not $9 because it's in GameStop, or get it secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. No, you got to buy the digital version of it for $20, for $30, for $40, whatever it is, some of these games.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007 and Singularity that you couldn't even imagine making some sort of big announcement about rolling out the amazing Activision library in some fashion on your service. Let's pop in my Prototype disc and see what happens when I put it in the console, shall we?
Is he putting it in X? Yeah, he's putting it in the X.
Okay, so we're putting it in. This is my official disc for a Prototype on the Xbox. Let's see what it says. Take your time. Here we go. Sorry, this game isn't playable here. You're
Had this happen to me plenty of times. Nate says I can play on the S, Prototype 1 and 2. Why? I have a question, Nate. How come you can play it, but he can't? You have the disc, and you put it in, and you can play it? You bought the bundle a few weeks back for like $20. The digital or physical version? It's digital. Yeah. Okay. Again, point stands. Physical copies make the problem, sell the solution. You want to play your game, can't play on the disc you already own on the new system. You have to go buy it digitally.
You're telling me you published this game, you are currently selling it for $9, regularly $20, and you can't even make it backwards compatible on the console.
Well, no, they could. They 100% could. But they don't want to, because they want you to buy it digitally, so you're in the ecosystem. Make the problem, sell the solution. Corporations don't care about you. They don't. They don't even care that you're complaining about this right now. They're going to make the problem and sell you the solution. They're like, oh, how many people are playing Prototype right now? Probably not that many. Okay. How many people want to play Prototype? And they're like, oh, you know what? I have my old disc, but I don't have my old system. Oh, I can't put it in. Oh, man, I really want to play that. Oh, real convenient. Here it is. $20.
Are you really making that much money?
No, they're not.
From the game?
No.
You're telling me that you're making so much bank on your library, like Call of Duty World?
Nope, they're not making bank on that. They're making bank on you coming to their ecosystem. Because if you get on their ecosystem because you bought Prototype 1 or Call of Duty 4, you're now in the ecosystem. You're in their ecosystem of the digital goods.
War. That it makes more sense
User acquisition is the most important thing to them.
to keep it behind a $20 price tag than do literally anything else with it. Roll out a small bundle of classic Call of Duty games on Game Pass for a month and see what happens. You're really making that much money on games from 2007 that you'll just do nothing?
Nope. They want people to come over. Their big goal is to get people over to Game Pass into their digital market. Buy a Series S, buy a Series X. If you're not buying a console, you can play these things off of Game Pass. We want you on Game Pass.
They're all on Xbox. You're telling me people are lining up to get the 2007 Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which you have listed for some ridiculous amount of
2007, $20. That's not technically that's not ridiculous. Have you seen some prices of physical copies of games? Transformers Fall of Cybertron was $240 or $280 when I went to go look for it.
money. Activision has an amazing
Haley, we have daylight savings time, my friend. We pushed back. Wait, no, sprung forward. We sprung forward, not fall back. We sprung forward.
library of games. And I think Xbox has completely screwed the pooch when it comes to utilizing this purchase to get people excited about anything they're doing with the Activision brand. World of Warcraft is another franchise. Let's talk about it. You've done nothing with it. There's no Xbox incentive to playing it. It's clear the dream.
Not yet. We know it leaked that we're not bringing it to console, but it's going to come to console.
Of including it on Xbox Game Pass or bringing it to console isn't going to happen, even though it has native controller support and it would bolster what has largely been a flat growth community.
Wait, what did that say? Did you know that WoW has fully worked native controller support now in Dragonflight? Yes. Yes, I did. That was 2 years ago. And before that.
Native controller support, and it would bolster what has largely been a flat growth community for the last 5 years. World of Warcraft coming to Game Pass, or if that's too much, maybe just adding a special mount or something for players could actually garner new player interest for a game that is very new player friendly right now. I know, because even I played the last expansion. It's accessible. So do something with it. What is happening? Bring it to
Destin's pretty upset. Pretty upset. It's probably because he's sick. Sounds like he's sick.
PS5, I don't care. Bring it to the Xbox consoles. Put it on a fridge. How can Path of Exile 2 come along and support everything, but you still insist on keeping World of Warcraft locked onto the PC behind a subscription? It doesn't make sense. Hell, even StarCraft made it to the Nintendo
I remember that.
64 at some point. You know what? Just put it on Game Pass for a month. Hey, if you have Game Pass, we'll give you 1 month of World of Warcraft. See what happens. And while you're watching me do that, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when my content goes live. I get a little bit closer to
I have no idea, Kylo. I don't follow that stuff.
getting over my cold for every subscriber. And don't get me started about the Legacy library. I popped in my physical copy of the original prototype here live, and guess what? It's not on the backwards compatible list. But guess what? I can still buy it at the store for $9.89 because it was on sale for a few days, regularly $20. Oh, sorry, I had to do a pickup here. $30.
I have a question. I know this is going to go off the deep end here. I don't know where he stands with microtransactions, right? I don't. But I'm going to talk in general just about the public, okay? If the public has a problem paying $30 for a video game that's done in what year was this? Right? What year did it come out? Prototype. Early 2000s? Mid 2000s, whatever it was? Regardless, okay? If you have a problem paying $30 for a video game, then don't buy the video game. It's that simple. Like, if you own it, right? But you don't own the old system to play and you want it backwards compatible. Your options are either buy the older system to play your older games on, or pay $30 or $9.89. I'm always mind-boggled by how people have a problem buying a game for $10 or $30, but they'll go spend $30 on one microtransaction skin. Make it make sense to me. Again, I'm not saying that he does this. I'm just saying people in general. So you look at this as a business, and you look at this and go, well, we charge $25 for one skin in one of our games, and this is an entire game. We're going to charge $30. Hyperbolic, right? Hyperinflation, I should say. But we're giving it to you for $9.89. Exactly what they do with microtransactions, by the way. This microtransaction costs you $40, but we're giving it to you for $20. That's the mindset, right? So the mindset is, oh, I heard this game was good. I'm going to pick it up. Oh, it's $30. Well, $30. It's a full game, right? And this is what they want you to do.
For a few days, regularly $20. Oh, sorry, I had to do a pickup here. $30. Singularity is another gem developed by Raven Software and published by Activision. You own both these companies. This game holds a fond place in many of our hearts, and yet I can't even buy it on the Xbox Series X. You own it. Can you not at the very least put it on the backwards compatible catalog?
That is stupid, right? You're selling that game and you're selling it on your you're selling it on the PC, but you're not selling it on the console. You own it. Just pick up the phone and go, "Hey, can we move this over to here?" But the problem is it going I don't know how much that costs to move it over, but it is stupid, right? If you have it on your platform but you're not putting it on all your platforms, it's like, why? You're the one telling us play anywhere. Play everything anywhere. And yet your own words, there's walls, right? Play anywhere. Oh, this game? No, you can only play it on this platform over on a PC. Sorry, can't play it on your console.
Or do you need to call the lawyers you employ at Raven and then have a conference call with the lawyers you employ at Activision so they can talk to the lawyers you employ at Xbox to see if you can
A lot of fucking lawyers.
publish the game you now are the owner of on your own platform? Oh,
I have this problem with WB, with multiverses. It's like, how do you not put all these characters in your thing? You own the brand, you own the license, you own the IP. Just pick up the phone and say, yeah, go ahead, put them in. Any one that you want, put it in the game. Same exact thing.
oh, my mistake. You don't have this on Xbox at all, but you have it. You have this 2010 classic for sale exclusively on the Microsoft Store and Steam for $29.99.
I don't understand what the problem is with the pricing of the game. I understand it's old, but has he gone to the store to try to buy an old video game? Right? Has he tried? Because old games cost more money than they did when they first launched. Why? Because they're like collectors. Now, I totally understand this is fucking digital, and it is stupid that they cost it. But if you're going to pay $30 for microtransactions and $30 for 5 days early access on a game, what's $30 for a video game in the past?
I'm sure the 16 people playing and the $24,000 you've made on Steam, well, that's the revenue number over 13.8 years. That probably really pushed the envelope. Look, all I'm saying is this is an easy win and you're squandering it. So is Prototype, which had a whopping 92 peak players today, which represents about $1,840 in revenue.
But you're assuming that they paid for this recently.
You have an opportunity to do interesting things whenever you want with the Activision franchises, and you're doing nothing. I don't understand how you can spend $70 billion on buying this company and then squander the plethora of opportunities you have with these beloved games and franchises. It feels like you've had this limp-wristed approach to putting games on Game Pass or making any sort of big announcement about titles that are being included. Off the top of my head, I can remember the Diablo 4 announcement like it was yesterday. That was a big deal. But StarCraft? Little to no fanfare there. I don't care if you hate all my ideas. You're smart people. Come up.
I mean, he's not wrong about sitting there doing nothing with the stuff. But I have to say they are doing it just slowly. Now, you might not like that, but how are they going to make you come back? I mean, come on. If PlayStation can sell a PlayStation to PlayStation, Xbox can take their time putting games on a Game Pass or the store. You see what I'm saying? They already have you. They already know if you're a person that wants to buy this game, you're going to buy it for $30. If you're going to buy this game, you're going to make the jump and you're going to pay $10 for it. They know if you like what you like, you're going to go out and buy another console because that's who you are. They got you. Papa says direct back compatible is less important. Microsoft dropped people from the section. They want you to buy digital. I don't know Destin thinks about that. Yeah. They just want you in the ecosystem. They want you in the ecosystem. That's it.
With something. Doing a
Real quick, how did Netflix go from 200 million to 300 million subscribers? There was people sharing. They were sharing accounts, and they said, "Well, what about if we, police this and stop people?" So these people got caught, and then guess what happened? Well, they bought. Well, the people that have the discs that want to play, there'll be a day that comes along. They're like, "I want to play this game." They put it in their machine, and they're like, "Oh, I can't play it." And they're like, "Oh, fucking stupid! I can't play this game." They're like, "It's only $20. It's only $20. I really love the game. I really want to play the game. $20. Sold. Ecosystem. Done."
A social media post about StarCraft coming into the service isn't cutting it. What is the holdup here? Make some moves already. Based on how you're doing, it sure seems like you got nothing to lose.
The acquisition of Activision Blizzard changed things, I think, I know at Microsoft.
Go for it. Do something. Do anything. Because if your whole approach was this limp-wristed attempt to get gamers interested by putting a game here or there on Game Pass with little to no promotion, then I don't know what the heck your game plan is. And I certainly don't know what the hell the point was in acquiring the company. Because
do we as consumers have to know their game plan? Do I need to know the game plan? I mean, I'm not asking the Mets or the Giants what your game plan is, who you're drafting, who you taking. Right? We could all have fun and talk about who your favorite sports team is going to draft and take, but I don't need to know their game plan. I'm just a consumer, right? Do I ask the restaurant that I like going to what their game plan is? Like, what are you guys selling next month? What's the specials? No, I as a consumer don't need to know what Microsoft's game plan is. I don't need to know what PlayStation's game plan is. Okay. As a consumer, do I want to know what's coming out in the future? Sure. Right? You'll find out when they give you the stuff. But you don't need to know their game plan. Just buy what they buy. Buy what you want to buy when it comes out. That's it.
All I've seen to date is console sales decline and fewer incentives.
They don't want console sales. Everyone's still on this console thing. They don't want consoles. They're making more money on software and across multiple platforms than they are on their one singularity console.
To be an Xbox fan, as you have been very clear that you're porting everything to PlayStation anyway.
We are finding that our games shipping on multiple platforms is a good thing for Xbox.
Take the first 5 Call of Duty games, put them on Game Pass for a month.
But why put 5 on 1 month when you could take 1 and put it on 1 every 2 months?
See what happens. Incentivize people to...
Because if you want people to play Call of Duty, if you put Call of Duty 1 on there, you're going to have a mass rush of people playing and trying out Call of Duty. We just saw this with Star Wars Galactic, the collector's edition, right? People mass went to it, but not like mass, like millions of people, just like 2 million people, 3 million people, right? Went to go play the old Battlefront game. If you take Call of Duty 2, 3, 4, 5 and throw them all at the same time, you're going to have a player base spread across all 5. But if you take Call of Duty and put it out there for 1 month, you're like, oh, Call of Duty's back on there, and they all rush there. Servers are full. People get to play it for a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. And then they're like, oh, Call of Duty 2, boom, coming out. You don't want a roadmap of this, because if there's a roadmap of Call of Duty coming out in August and Call of Duty 2 coming out in September and Call of Duty 3 coming out in October, you'd be like, I'll just wait for Call of Duty 3. Instead of just going, oh, Call of Duty's on there? Let me go play Call of Duty. Right? You see what I'm saying? This is why you don't need to know their roadmap. This is why you don't need to know their game plan. Their game plan is, we're making video games. We bought a bunch of stuff, and, could come, it couldn't come. Surprise.
To play World of Warcraft for just fun. Give them a free month. You got nothing to lose. And you said this is about mobile. What happened in the mobile space?
They're in the mobile space. They're making a shit ton of money off Candy Crush.
Nothing. What is happening? Look, I don't...
On their side, lots of stuff is happening. They're collecting a million to tens of millions, if not billions of dollars from Candy Crush. That's what's happening. That is what's happening on the business side. You on the consumer side, what do you mean what's happening? What do you need to happen on the consumer side? You want a DLC for Candy Crush? Like, they bought it for the mobile market to get into the mobile market. They're making money in the mobile market now, which is funding other things in the company.
Get what the game plan is. Maybe the commenters will see it more than I do, but I certainly think there are a plethora of opportunities here, a plethora of.
There's absolutely a plethora of opportunities, but they're going to take their sweet time doing that. Why? Because minimal viable product.
Great promotion opportunities too, and they really just haven't hit the nail on the head on this one. I'm sick. I'm getting over a cold, but let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if you like this content. Thank you so much for watching. Every subscriber makes me get 2% better, and I'm almost there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the members for supporting this channel. I do appreciate it. A big thank you to Christopher, Eddie, Inner Machine, Filleroni, Savage, Spin Getter, and the Scarecrow 121. You can support via Patreon, or you can support by simply becoming a member or watching this video, hitting that like button, all that good stuff. Check out my previous video, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.
There you go. Destin's channel is in the link down in the description below. I mean, he had some good points, but most of the stuff is, like, you don't need to know. That's just the way it is.